What is up, everybody? Welcome to the new series on the channel, Book Review. Today, I'm going to be yapping about Where the Axe is Buried by Nayler. Very nice slice of sci-fi we got here. I just finished it yesterday, and I'm still on the hype of the ending, because that was a very awesome ending. I actually very much enjoyed the ending of this book. What sparked me to talk about it is I wanted to kind of give it a proper rating, because I found myself needing to say a few things. Not in a bad way at all. I very much enjoyed this book. But just a few details about the read. Towards the beginning, I found myself struggling a little bit because we're following a lot of characters throughout this book. There's multiple stories to follow. We have like maybe 4 or 5 different characters that we're following the events of their stories. And they all sort of kind of converge towards the end, but not by directly even meeting each other. Not all the characters directly meet, but all of their stories do kind of converge because of their actions, and I like that aspect of this book. I thought that was very interesting. Alright, quick fair warning, spoiler warning, because I'm gonna start yapping, because this is about to sound so disconjointed the way I describe this book that you should just go and read it yourself, because I'm gonna do it a disservice by talking about it the way I talk about it. So anyway, Where the Axe is Buried, we follow multiple characters like a woman named Lilia, a doctor named Nikolai, who is helping a president of some country who has sort of like an altered mind situation. He's been president multiple times in different bodies to be president, and there's like the news and the media present him as a new president every term or whatever. But he is still the same president, but he's going through some sort of malfunction nonsense, or not necessarily malfunction. He's had too many upgrades to the point where he doesn't even appreciate like small talk, right? So like the average "hi, how are you" handshake to him sounds like a 3 days worth of a "hi, how are you" handshake, because his perception of time is a little altered. He could think faster than other people, but it's causing problems. All the upgrades are causing problems in this president, and we have our Dr. Nikolai, who is following the president and making sure that he's monitoring him. We also have characters like Lilia, who is a scientist who has been in and out of this one country that has a social score system that reduces like a radius. So if your social score decreases, the radius that surrounds your home decreases. You can't travel outside that radius, and if it gets smaller and smaller, you're basically doomed until the government decides to snatch you up and be like, all right, we're gonna put you somewhere else because you're clearly bad for society or something. But all those details are important because she explains how in the past she was given an opportunity to leave. She was doing science studies and stuff, and for whatever reason they let her leave. And she ended up in London. She met her boyfriend. She started studying, or she invented a piece of technology that she herself didn't fully understand, but she knows how to use the device she invented. It's not necessarily that she fully understands how to explain it, but it becomes relevant later that the device that she invented is something that a lot of people want. And so, for whatever reason, this is a part of the book that I thought was a little weird. Not weird, but I guess the character I found a little frustrating. She had the chance to escape that country with the radiuses and the social score system and study with and get a boyfriend and everything in London, right? But she felt guilty for leaving her father in that country because she originally lived alone with him in that social score country or whatever, but when she was in London, she felt bad for leaving without a proper goodbye. So she decides to go back to the father. Okay. So if that's ringing any bells, alarms in your brain, it should, because yes, I understand we feel guilty for leaving our father behind, but you were given the freest opportunity of all time to leave the city, and you just decided, hey, I actually feel really bad that I left my father over there, so I'm gonna go back to say goodbye, and then I'm gonna go back to London with crazy expectations that they're just gonna let you out again. like after you knew that it was hard to get out of that city, whatever. That's kind of like a little part of the book that kind of frustrated me, just a little bit, because I don't want to be too mean, because I very much enjoyed this book.
Use your brain. Use your brain. Use your brain. The thing in your head, use it.
But even when she gets back, to be totally honest, to be fair, her father was disappointed that she came back. She was free essentially, and he couldn't even fully express to her that he was happy that she left. So when she returned, he was just upset, and she felt guilty that, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have come back. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have come back. You escaped. He knew you were safe by not being there. Well, whatever. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. The father character, I actually really like that character though. Vitaly, he comes up again later in the book, but I don't want to say too much, because I want to leave enough room for you to go experience this book for yourself, because it is, again, I'm giving it a lot of praise, but I want to give it a proper rating at the ending. There's a lot of characters in this book that you got to follow to get to the end. You got to get through the potatoes before you get to the meat. You know what I'm saying? So the early parts of this book, I found myself just struggling a tiny bit, because there were so many different stories to follow. And it's not that they're hard to read. I was enjoying all of it. I just found myself rereading certain parts to keep track of characters I read about maybe 1 or 2 chapters ago, because I wanted to make sure I understood everything as I reached the end of this book. And it was a great experience, the ending, having all those stories sort of make sense at the end. I very much appreciate that about this guy's writing. He did something very similar with The Mountain and the Sea, but because of the amount of stories we got going on in here, and I guess I have little tiny gripes with the pacing, that's what is probably going to affect my rating the most. So if I was going to give this book a proper rating out of 10, I would maybe give it like a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. Because I very much enjoyed this book. I'm not calling it bad or mid in any way. I'm just saying I enjoyed it, but be prepared to read a lot and then have the payoff show up way later towards the end of this book. Like, I'm talking like the last couple chapters, and it's nice. I enjoyed the ending of this book. Maybe I'm just a little biased now because I enjoy this guy's writing now. The Mountain and the Sea was incredible. I'm probably going to do another video on that book as well. But this book gets 7.8 or 8 axes out of 10. That's what we'll give it. So alright, Where the Axe is Buried by Ray Nayler. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. This is me just experimenting. I'm probably going to start doing more book reviews. I've read most of these here, so be prepared for me to review any of these that you see here, and be excited for, oh, I know that one. That's cool. He read that too? No way! So if you want to see more content like this, just like and subscribe. If you like this video, I'm sure you like other videos on the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. And I'll see y'all next time. Alright, bye-bye. Don't forget to bury your hatchets.